Hello, Facebook friends. I'm at the Urban League of Metropolitan St. Louis. I'm going to talk to President and CEO Mike McMillan. You know, this was a place where on Saturday they had a big food drive. They provided food and toiletries and everything and much more to some 3,000 people. Well, guess what? They're going to do the same thing this Saturday, only there are going to be some more things added to it, some more services that people can get when they come here. This is for, of course, the tornado effort, that tornado that's really slammed St. Louis, and that's just caused a lot of misery for so many people. Obviously, we had the 5 people who perished, we had the 38 people who were injured, and besides all that, now we have people who are dealing with just a loss, either homes destroyed, severely damaged, or people, they had no electricity, they lost all their food. And you're talking about kind of a poor area that was slammed by this storm. And so you have a lot of people who are in just a tough way. And how you doing, Mike?
Well, we're working hard, my friend. It's good to see you.
Mike, how many people did you have last weekend?
So last weekend we had our first of a series of 4 large-scale food, toiletry, mask, gloves, sanitizer, PPE materials, cleaning materials, and then other resources that we gave out to the community, distributions. We're doing them throughout the week, so people can come here any day, Monday through Friday from 9 to 5 and get resources. And then on Saturday, we're doing these huge events for up to 3,000 people from 12 to 3.
Now, you said some people arrived here super early.
Yeah, so when we talked to the police and the security staff, they said that people actually started arriving at 4 a.m. for something that began at noon. And when you show the need and you see the overwhelming amount of people that lined up to sit for 8 hours to try to receive just the basic necessities, and you see people driving through the lines and you ask them, what's the number one thing you need? And they say, paper towels so I can clean my house, or wipes so that I can wipe down all of the debris and the damage that is blown into my home. I mean, it's devastating, and it's something that we've never ever seen, and I hope we never ever see again.
I was out here, of course, and I walked down Page because I wanted to show people just how long those lines were. And one of your security folks said it stretched about 15 blocks, stretched all the way down to near Grand Avenue, which is incredible. Like you said, that the need is that great.
Amount of money. He works in Baldwin, and he had a certain type of car insurance, but it only covered liability if he hurt someone else. And so now his car is ruined. He has a car note. He has no ability to go buy another car. He's still got to get back and forth to work. His home is uninhabitable, and so now he's staying with a relative. All of his clothes got blown out of the house when the closet wall collapsed and everything flew out. So when you think of stories like that, and the home, to rebuild that type of brick home around the corner from here, he said it would be $400,000+, and his insurance is not going to cover that. So what do you do for a hard-working person who pays his taxes, goes to work every day, is trying to live the American dream, and yet now his life has been destroyed? And so we're trying to deal with, so we put him in a hotel, and we're helping him with transportation and helping with food and trying to help with, toiletries and basic necessities. But that's just one story out of thousands of stories. And so that's why, as we talked before, I firmly believe this is going to take FEMA, the state, a portion of RAM's money, and philanthropy to work together to try to provide people with resources and the way to rebuild. Because if we don't, North St. Louis and the city as a whole will never be the same.
Okay, we're going to look, some people may have missed last week. What do you got coming up this week? We're going to walk outside here.
So this week we'll have another large-scale distribution here at the headquarters for 3,000 people from 12 to 3. So we'll have BJC that'll actually be here doing tetanus shots. We also have a variety of lawyers from St. Louis University that are coming to volunteer and give free legal assistance to people to try to help guide them through how to deal with insurance companies, title issues, and other things that are related to the tragedy. Then, of course, we have a ton of people that are coming in terms of volunteering. Last week, we asked for 100 volunteers. We had 500. Then we'll also have a group of people that are going out into the community. So they will then be able to distribute some of the food, clothing, toiletries, and other things out in the neighborhoods to people that can't get here. And we're partnering with the Red Cross to actually spread some information for the individuals who have been devastated, depending on the size of their home and the number of people in their actual home. They can get resources, I think about $350 to a little over $1,000, depending on how many family members live there and the condition of the damage to the house.
You're doing this even though the Urban League itself, I don't think we can see it from here. Let's walk so I can get a shot of. And I just want to show people that you guys are doing this even though you had damage.
Yeah, so sadly, we've had about $6.5 to $7 million of damage, it appears, from what we've been told by the insurance companies, because this strip plaza.
I don't know if people can see that, but it's over that way.
Yeah, the strip plaza that is behind these tractor trailers that are here with all the items to give to the community, it was just decimated. It was just about to be renovated so we could try to bring some jobs and businesses and economic opportunity back to the community. So that was ruined. Our headquarters here, some of the windows you see that are blown out, the other side of the building on Kings Highway, that's where the majority of the windows were blown out. And then, of course, our signage and cell tower and a variety of other things up at the top. But at our headquarters, you see that actual satellite dish used to be on the Kings Highway side of the building, and it was blown completely off over here into the stack, would have come off the building, and about probably $3.5 million worth of air conditioning and heating and HVAC units on the roof that were just completely decimated. And some of the debris and the windows that were sucked out of the building crashed and collapsed on top of our greenhouse and have ruined its ability to be effective as well, along with our women's business center on Natural Bridge, where all the windows were blown out and an air conditioning unit was knocked off the building on top of one of the employees' cars.
So you were saying as much as what, $6 million in damage?
Yeah. So they said 6 to 7.
I'm getting to a point here. Even though you guys suffered that much damage to your own facility, you're still doing this. Why?
The community is worse off than we are. You know, we have insurance. We're very hopeful that that process will go smoothly and we'll be able to rebuild the plaza, fix the HVAC issues and the rest. But when you talk to people like, the gentleman I just talked to today, he's lost everything. And the insurance that he had was not enough to deal with this type of disaster. So how are we going to do what we've always done and actually be there for the community to try to make a difference and help? And really, I have to say, kudos and thank you to the staff, because in addition to the fact that they actually began working that night, as you see over there, Elliot, you see that yellow area right there?
Yeah.
That had a light pole on it. So we spent a considerable amount of money to make sure that this place was very vibrant and well lit at night. All of these light poles were blown out and they all collapsed onto people's cars. So our own staff, their cars were ruined.
Right.
And some of them were ruined, and then they went out that very night to go help people and start trying to do checks on people and make sure that they were okay. And they're working in the middle of their own trauma, trying to figure out how to survive.
One thing I don't want to forget is the new arrangements you guys have with Schnucks. Let's not forget that.
Oh no, Schnucks.
You weren't
Schnucks.
anyway.
Yeah, no. Schnucks has been an amazing partner to the Urban League for over 4 decades. And when you think about somebody that gives time, talent, and treasure, they do that. And so one of the ways that you can help us at the Urban League to rebuild everything that we're trying to do for the community is you can round up at the register and actually make a donation to the Urban League, or you can buy items at Schnucks or bring items to Schnucks on the list that they have actually provided on their website and on our social media of basically food, toiletries, cleaning supplies, PPE that you can then donate in those bins at Schnucks, and then they will bring them to us to give away to the community. So it's a roundup at the register for the Urban League and the United Way.
Have you done that roundup before?
Oh yeah, so Schnucks has done one every February with us for about 5 years.
Okay. And obviously it can raise needed funds.
Oh yeah, no, it will raise probably, I hope, about $100,000 for us and the United Way. and then we'll be able to put that to an immediate use at these events.
Does this put you in mind of what the Urban League was doing in the pandemic? I was out there with you then, and you had this event every Saturday, feeding like 3,000 people every week without fail. Does this put you in mind of that? It
Oh,
seems
absolutely.
Like it's the same scale.
Yeah, no, and just on a personal side note, let me say thank you to you again, because you literally came out for probably all 50 or 55 from that very first Saturday. And not only did you come the day of the event, but you promoted it on like the Friday night before and then that Saturday morning, because if people don't know what we're doing, how can they take advantage of it? How can they participate? How can they receive the resources? So that was probably about a good 100 trips just from you between Friday and Saturday. So thank you.
Well,
but yes, to answer your question, this is exactly like that, and 100 times worse, because you got the physical problem. It's not just the health issues and the concern about jobs and being laid off like COVID, but now you have the physical devastation, the trauma, people knowing people that have lost everything, lost their lives, been injured, and then looking at your childhood neighborhood that's just been destroyed. I mean, if you drive down streets like Newstead, I mean, it literally looks like a bomb went off over there. And how do you ever rebuild that? Because the other thing is the brick here in St. Louis is so good, but it's so expensive. If you look at homes today, rarely do you get an all brick house. Even in the wealthiest parts of St. Louis, you might get a brick front and maybe a little bit of a side, but definitely not in the back and all the way up. So this is going to be an amazing, overwhelming effort.
You've got crews out on the street checking on families and the like. I know James Clark is out there helping to lead that effort. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so James and the public safety team are out there going door to door in neighborhoods to try to see what people need and assess what kind of resources they can get from us or other partners that are in the not-for-profit world, be it Red Cross or what we do with United Way. So they are doing that. The Federation of Block Units with Farrakhan, his team, they're out there doing the same thing. And we'll keep doing that, because the truth is everybody can't get here. And if their car, was damaged and destroyed, they surely can't get here. And if they could, they can't carry all those things back home, right? And so how do we make sure that we try to do a dual role of be a distribution hub, but also bring resources to the community?
She able to get food to some people?
Absolutely.
Who are homebound or
Absolutely.
something like that?
Especially seniors and disabled.
Right.
But on a totally separate note, I also want to say just kudos to St. Louis. Because if you look at all the different people that you have just covered, there are tons of people out here doing good things to try to make a difference. Individuals, small churches, big churches, community organizations, neighborhood groups, and so many other not-for-profits. So kudos and congratulations to everybody that is in this space, because no one person can do it all, and it's going to take all of us pulling together to make the difference that is needed.
This is something you never expect to see.
No.
It catches everybody. Even though we say weather is coming, sometimes we take the alerts for granted. Well, it won't hit me. But in this case, it did a lot of damage to a vulnerable part of town.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, as a native St. Louisan, to be honest, I never really paid any attention when they said the tornado sirens are going off, because we had never had an urban tornado. We've had one at the airport and parts of the county, but never like right through the inner core of the city. So it didn't even faze me. And now I tell you, I'll never disrespect it again.
You guys are doing a great job.
Thank you.
And this
Thank
is
you.
so important at this time.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure you guys are running into folks and they've just about given up hope.
Oh, sure. Yeah, no, this has been a rough year for a lot of people. And, the Urban League should always be a beacon of hope and opportunity and resource. And, we were literally born out of a crisis. We were born out of the East St. Louis race riots of 1917. So that was what created us. And we would love to move beyond crisis. But when it happens, we will deal with it, and we'll be there in every way that we can.
People who want to donate to the Urban League, how can they reach you guys?
So they can go to our website, ulstl.com. and make a donation of any size. We've had people give from $5 to $10,000. And if you want to, you can come here to the headquarters and drop off any items. And quite frankly, as you've seen, we have one line of people coming in, dropping off, and another line of people that are actually receiving the items in real time.
Can people Google Urban League?
Yes.
And find out about you guys in case they can't remember that address you just gave?
Oh, of course. Yeah, no, you can Google the Urban League. Our website will pop up. Our social media will pop up. Please, look at us from a Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn standpoint.
Urban League St. Louis?
ULSTL pretty much is the way that you would get our hashtag on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
And that will let people know how they can donate?
Yes, and how they can receive help.
Really? Okay. And give that web address one more time slowly. Give that web address one more time for people who'd like to donate to the Urban League.
Thank you. ULSTL.com.
And his phone number?
615-3600, and we're 314.
And again, a critical time.
Oh, it's the worst time. Quite frankly, we've lived through several tragedies already, but this is the worst. And it's like, as I've said, this is going to be a sprint and a marathon. And many of us are building the ship while we are in the middle of the ocean, trying to make sure that we do as much as we can for as many as we can for as long as we can. And we will.
Because you made the point, you said, unlike COVID, where people still had their house, obviously a health emergency and a health crisis, but this one, they've many of them have lost their homes, everything.
Yeah, no, the difference, of course, is during COVID, we were told to shelter in place, and now many people have no place.
Mike, thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
See you Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday from 12 to 3.
Okay. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
Okay, that was Mike McMillan. He's the president and CEO of the Urban League. You can see the trucks kind of lined up over there. Let me see if I can show you this, if I can. You can see at a distance the trucks beginning to line up over there. They all have, like I said, a lot of food, toiletries, everything else for people who come here tomorrow, come here on Saturday. Folks who come here on Saturday, there'll be plenty of food and toiletries and everything else for people, and they'll have that big giveaway, and they'll be doing it for another couple of weeks after that, and then they'll reevaluate it. But this Saturday, and it will run from noon to 3 o'clock, and it's right on Page and Kings Highway. It's where it's located. I think that's 1408 North Kings Highway. Page and Kings Highway basically is where you would come, and they'll have all the folks out here, and they have about 500 volunteers who'll be set to load it all in your car to help people in need as St. Louis deals with yet another tragedy. Of course, I'm going to keep you up on all this, my Facebook friends.